Hello, welcome. Cabbage here. Let's have a look at the new class of quest called Lethal, or Super Extreme, as I like to call it. And then this is a difficulty above Extreme, of course, but lower than Impossible, theoretically. In practice, however, I found that this quest for Hikaru Genji, and then Barojika, which was also released, not that difficult. Maybe some later entries in this difficulty level will be more difficult, but this one not so much. But anyway, gimmicks here, there's really only a warp, so we can bring anybody with no warp and they'll be usable. And then to talk about the team that I'm using, first I'm using Marishten. He's a bounce with no warp, and he has a strong cross laser bump combo, and then a strike shot that charges up quickly. 16 turns, and then he creates the area, and then he can do lots of damage within that area. And then he also has a Recovery S, so that'll help me with keeping my HP up. And then next up is Daikokuten, another bounce with no warp. And then they have a strong bump combo, the Chain Lightning. And it's really good for the stage because there are lots of enemies kind of packed closely together. So it's easy for the Chain Lightning to get around. And then a Missile Strike Shot, which can do some good damage. Next I'm using the new-ish character of Aegis. He is a bounce with no warp, and he also has a Light Slayer, which works on everybody on the stage. And a bump combo, the Energy Circle. And then that Light Slayer that he has is passive in him. So that will enhance his energy circle as well. So he'll be one of my main sources of damage for this quest. And then finally I'm using Cha-Cha Ascension, and she's been great. I've been using her a lot lately, and she's just been really good. Pierce with a no warp, and then a very strong bump combo. She's got that short range spread, which again works here very well because of all of the enemies packed closely together. And then the Rebound Shockwave, I forget what you call it, but very sneakily very powerful. And then a Strike Shot which reveals all of a boss's weak points, which can help my other guys do more damage. But yeah, really the only other thing of note in this quest is that sometimes the boss will do attack up on some of the little guys. And so if that happens, we want to move our characters away from those guys with power-up, or we want to take them down before their next attack. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I had heard that these, super extreme quests, they're more difficult or they take more time, but I haven't found that to be true at all, so. But yeah, that'll give me a chance to kind of talk about the character of Hikaru Genji himself. And I really like him. I would definitely want to make a max luck or two of him once I move to the JP version. The evolution version has that magical combination of Gravity Barrier, Pierce, and then a Blast Bomb combo. And that's probably my most favorite support max luck, ability combination. Because I like to use that combination when I farm for easy quests. Like Dragon Gems or the Divine Shards. And then, yeah, with the Pierce and the No Gravity Barrier and the Blast Bomb combo, it's easy for that character to support my other characters, which would ideally be my Hatcher monsters with very strong bump combos. And then there are a few other drop monsters that kind of fall into that category. The first one, and probably still maybe the best, is Dax Evolution, that global exclusive monster. And then he has the added benefit of having no gauge, so it's very easy to use him. You can even play without looking at the screen, which is important to me. Another good one is Daisy. She was a limited time from the New Year's event. And she's also really good, except that she has a Fiend Slayer and a gauge. Fiend Slayer is really good because it'll work for all the bosses on the Dragon Gem stages. But having that gauge there bothers me. If it doesn't bother you, then that's fine. You can use Daisy, but... And then next is Hikaru Genji Evolution. And then, yeah, again, Pierce, no gravity barrier with Blast Bump combo, no gauge. And good speed and good attack. So he's pretty useful there. Another one that we've had for a while is Ghoulie Ascension. And his main demerit is his slow speed. So that can make it a little bit difficult for him to get around and get out more bump combos. But Hikaru Genji is much better at that. And then finally there's Eden, who is a Pierce, no gravity barrier with the Blast Bump combo. But he also has a null damage wall, and then a gauge. So again, the gauge is kind of a thing that's less than ideal. And then also making a max look of him would be very, very difficult. So I think for the majority of people, Hikaru Genji Evolution is going to be the ideal max luck for using to farm for Dragon Gems or other easy quests like that. And then the Ascension version of Hikaru Genji is also very interesting. He's a bounce with a no gravity barrier, and he's got better stats overall, I would say. And then he also has speed up as the bump combo, and that's very unusual for a drop monster. And that makes him good for quests like Tsukiyomi, Yomi, and then also Hakua, actually. So if you wanted a max luck that would be usable in Hakua, Hikaru Genji Ascension would be one of the best. Okay, so that was a quick rundown of both versions of the character, and then also pretty much all the strategy that you need for the quest. Yeah, only 7 minutes in and we're already working towards the last stage. So yeah, really not that bad of a quest at all. But maybe also because my team is overpowered, maybe it's not so difficult. But yeah, very nice chain lightning there. And that should do it there. No. Yeah, pretty cool music too for this new difficulty level. Okay, so last stage, we're going to start to use our strike shots when we have a good chance. There are lots of monsters all over the place, so in a case like Aegis, it might be better to wait a little bit to kind of clear the field before I use his strike shot. Alright, there's that damage from the attack up, but even then, didn't do, you know, a whole ton of damage. Okay, so very nice bump combo there from Cha-Cha. Alright, and then here let's use Daikokuten's missile strike shot. We'll aim for the weak point, and then that should set off some other people's bump combos too. Alright, very good. Alright, and then finally here, let's use Aegis's speed and power up. And that'll do it. So yeah, under 9 minutes from start to finish. So really, not that long, not that difficult either. And yeah, I would very highly recommend making a max look of him. And I believe in the JP version, he is already in the Library of Memories, so you can get started on that anytime. Okay, that'll do it for Hikaru Genji. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.